Well, hello, and today is Thursday morning, and theoretically, you're ready to turn in your paper tonight by midnight to peer review. Peer review is a great process. I think you all did a pretty good job for the PowerPoints. I know you all enjoyed looking at each other's PowerPoints. This is a small class, so I decided not to break it up into groups. So there's still the chance your own paper will not get reviewed. Don't feel bad about that. All right, you're more than you're going to learn plenty by looking at other people's papers. You learn by looking at other things. Okay, so you know good writing when you see it, and as you're looking at and reviewing somebody else's paper, you're constantly thinking about your own paper, seeing how it stacks up, seeing how it compares, getting some ideas for your own work. Okay, so it's all right if your own paper doesn't get reviewed. That said, if you'd like for me to look at your paper in the next couple of days, go ahead and email it to me. That's not a substitute for turning into peer review. Okay, and my review will be quite short, that kind of thing. And also, too, if you'd like to talk to me, if you feel the need to reach out to me and talk to me in person, we can do that. WebEx is terrific. I'll meet with you anytime that you'd like. Just email me and we can set up an appointment, okay? And just we'll talk computer to computer. It's just fine. And I can look at your paper while we do that. Okay, so that said, let me look at my notes, all right? So you need to have 4 reviews done by Monday night. And it's the same idea. Find 3 things that look really good in the paper and say specifically what they are. All right, and then find 3 areas in the rubric, okay, that aren't up to snuff, and give specific examples on how to bring them up to snuff. Okay, so let's go down real quickly and look at the rubric. Have quite a bit of good material here. I hope you look at. In a minute, I'll get to some more of that. Okay, grading rubric. Okay, so citing is important. All right, we need to understand citing. And I'll show you in a minute the help menu on the left, but if you look to the left of your home screen, class homepage screen, you'll see a help menu down at the bottom, and there's citing help there, and I'll take you to that in just a minute, okay? But you need to have in-text citations in just about every single paragraph. A research paper has to stick to the research, so you don't need them in the introduction, and you don't need them in the conclusion, because those 2 paragraphs belong to you. But every other paragraph needs to somehow reference the research, all right? And that's what the in-text citations help you do. Then, of course, you have to use your resources well. You have to have had 8 academic resources in your works citing. You have more, okay? Or you can have Google and stuff on top of that, but you need to show me you know how to use Helmke Library. Okay, so and this other thing is it's very important to actually use the resources. You can't just pack the works cited list and then let the research paper rely on 1 or 2 resources. You can't do that. Okay, that's not a research paper. Okay, paragraphs. I love paragraphs. Stephen King, the great horror fiction writer, loves paragraphs. Paragraphs are where your writing really begins, okay? A paragraph is a single unit of thought, a well-focused unit of thought with support and detail in it. And then in the case of the research paper, references to the research, sometimes direct quotes, okay? And once again, only quote the good stuff. Don't quote facts and figures. Summarize those and still add an in-text citation, okay? Introduction. Introduction should reflect the content and the organization of the paper. It should be a roadmap, okay? You should be able to unfold it and say, whoa, here's where we're going. Okay. Conclusion, same thing. Conclusion needs to summarize the paper. They should be short. All right. They should be to the point. They don't need to be fancy. And do not add new information to the conclusion. Okay. Don't do that. Page length, less than 10. You're going to be in trouble. Okay. Quoting. Did you use direct quotes correctly? Did you, what's it called? Did you integrate them correctly? Okay. So as you're doing peer review, have the rubric in front of you and compare the rubric to the paper and then offer specific help. Don't just say, blah, 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 it's great, or gee, you ought to add some more pages. Specifically say how they can add some more pages. Where are the areas they can cover? Are their paragraphs too short? So very often you build a paper out from the middle. You don't just keep adding junk at the end. You build it out from the middle by developing the paragraphs more thoroughly. Okay, developing them bigger, right? Not too big. Okay. I think generally you can count on seeing 3 paragraphs per page. It's not a rule, but it looks really good, and it kind of tells the reader, okay, here's 3 points I'm making on this page. It helps her. Okay, critical thinking. What do you think? Is the paper just a data dump? Just throw all that stuff in? Is it a Wikipedia account? And, anybody can look at Wikipedia. Or did you actually learn something new from it? Did the writer do something creative with the research, bring it together in a fashion that maybe you hadn't seen before, that maybe really proves a point? Okay, so that's the rubric. Make sure you use the rubric as you're doing peer review. Now, I promised earlier that we'd look at the citing help real quick. Okay, I think the easiest thing to do is go to the course homepage. Nope, go to the content page, sorry. And down here, help with lots of help. Okay, so writing help, Word, PowerPoint help, citing help, very important. Okay, so here we have, there's an example of MLA citation for the end of the paper. And by the way, I hope you use the databases. I think you have to do the citing engines, all right? Here's a discussion of MLA versus APA. Here's my Citing Made Easy lecture. I think you've seen that already. Here's an APA sample paper. If you decided to use APA, that's fine. Make sure you stick to it. Here's a paper that is in APA. Okay, here's an MLA sample paper that is actually annotated. Kind of shows you the different elements of the paper. Okay, here's how to do MLA in-text citations, and here's how to do APA in-text citations. So really, if you need any help, it's right here in the help menu on the left. Okay, I think that's it. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. All right, I am open to looking at your paper if that would be helpful to you. I'll just do it very briefly, and that's only between now and Monday night. Okay, I can't do it after Monday night, but I'll do it on the weekend. Maybe not immediately, but I'll do it. And that said, we can also conference if you'd like to talk. Okay, so have a great week and get your papers in on time, please. We're nearly to the end. Don't drop the ball now. Thank you.